one, you are looking upon a famous New York landmark named for a football play. This afternoon, we're at the Meadowlands. It's absolutely gorgeous. The New York Jets will be hosting the Oakland Raiders. Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Jones, along with Randy Cross. And first, let's talk about the Oakland Raiders. And let's talk about that offense.
That offense. You know, the catchphrase in the 90s has been the West Coast offense. They used to run the West Coast offense in Oakland. Now it's a flashback to something like 1963 at Frank Ewell Field. Go long if you can, and throw it short if you must.
All right. Now, the New York Jets, they will counter with their running attack.
That's really been the key. Adrian Morell and that offensive line have got things going, and for the Jets to win today, they've got to run the ball about 150 as a team.
And we have two B-leaguer head coaches, only one victory in 10 games between them. Stay with us. We'll be back with the ball game in just a moment.
Keyshawn Johnson, who underwent arthroscopic knee surgery Thursday. How's it coming along?
I'm a couple days ahead of schedule. You know, the doctor said everything is fine. We're going good, and I'm looking to be back maybe in a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Doctor said 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, you know, I'm ahead of schedule, so I'm looking to be back hopefully against Buffalo, and if not, then I'll follow up against Arizona.
Thank you, Keyshawn. A glimmer of hope for Jets fans. Charlie?
All right, thank you, Len. The Oakland Raiders winning the toss. They will be receiving, and that means that Don Silvestri will kick off for the New York Jets. There's Silvestri. Number 46, Carl Kidd, and number 84, Kenny Shedd are the return men for the Oakland Raiders.
Charlie, a key stat we talked about yesterday when we met with the Raiders was the fact that it's been 24 games now for the Raiders without an opening drive touchdown. Now, I remember years when I was playing with San Francisco in that West Coast offense was, you know, you'd go years where you'd score on the first drive 10, 12 times. I find it absolutely unbelievable you go that long without scoring a touchdown on your opening drive.
Here's Jeff Hostetler, the quarterback of the Oakland Raiders. Of course, 9 years with the New York Jets. He said, this is the perfect time to play here at the Meadowlands. You get into November and December, and it is cold and windy. He's taken by Kidd on the return, and he is out near the 30-yard line. And here is Hostetler after that 20-yard return, the quarterback of the Oakland Raiders. And here is the offense that he will be operating. Here's that offensive line. How good is it?
It's good enough. And Steve Wisniewski, I'll tell you, at left guard is a stud. I like him. They call him Dirty. I say he's aggressive.
Dirty? Well, he got fined $10,000 last week.
For being aggressive.
All right. And the backs and receivers.
Joe Aska, keep an eye on this young man. 5'11", 240, runs a 4.3 40.
Number 35, he is the tailback as they start from the 30-yard line. And here is Aska with the call. And he has 8 yards on the play. So second down and 2. Here's the defense of the New York Jets as Mo Lewis made that last tackle. Here's the front four.
Well, this is a wounded New York Jets team. I mean, face it, Hugh Douglas isn't in there. Marvin Jones isn't at middle linebacker, and they're going to attack the center of that defensive line.
Eric Howard also out, linebackers in secondary. As Aska gets the call. 41-yard line. He needed 2, he gets 3. That's going to give him the first down.
And both times, Charlie, right up behind the middle of that offensive line of the Raiders, going right behind Wisniewski, Robbins, and Gogan. A lot of girth, a lot of wide backsides in there, and Wisniewski can drive block. He can get on a guy and absolutely plant him in the ground.
Derek Finner is the fullback. He is the lead blocker for Joe Aska. Hostetler to throw. He comes back underneath the coverage to Tim Brown. And Tim is going to go to the 50-yard line. That will be a pickup of 9 yards on the play. Now, Tim Brown is averaging only 10.5 yards of reception. That is a career low.
Well, he's averaging less really than Wayne Corbett. But the thing to watch on that play is definitely Joe Aska at running back. Joe Aska steps up. Spindler gets free. He gets him when he gets free, and that's what gives Hostetler the time to complete that pass to Brown.
Second down in the yard. And here is Aska again. Nice hole right side. And it's a first down at the Jet 43-yard line. Mike Chilinsky makes the tackle for New York.
Charlie, 240-pound halfback that can run a 4.3, and you saw the acceleration. Here's a guy that in college was a 55-meter sprint champion at Central Oklahoma. So you know out of the blocks, this guy flies.
First down Raiders. Their second first down in this opening drive. And here is Aska. And he is clogged up at the line of scrimmage by Mark Spindler. One of the few times that he has been stopped for no gain since he has been playing. That goes back to the latter part of the San Diego game a couple of weeks ago.
Well, watch Spindler in the middle. He's going right up there against Robbins. He stuffs him back into the backfield. Good job by the whole inside of that Jets defense. And if you can get a runner like an Aska, any runner for that matter, having to change his mind towards the line of scrimmage on defense, you've done at least 75% of your, 75% of your job.
This is the opening drive of the ball game. Play action fake to Aska. Wanted to go deep, reads deep first, comes back short. And he comes back to Ricky Dudley, the tight end.
You know, that's a part of the offense, Jeff Hostetler, for his health and for his confidence. He has got to have Ricky Dudley being a part of this offense.
Here's what you were talking about. 4 straight opening drive without a touchdown. And they face now third down and 7.
And Charlie, when you're playing the Jets, a wounded, weak team, field goals do you no good. You've got to have touchdowns against this team.
Raiders with 3 wide receivers. Flag is down. The give is to Aska. He is down at the 40-yard line. He'll lose a yard if the play stands up.
Well, Derek Fenner fell out of his stance before the ball was snapped.
Jets will refuse it.
Illegal motion. Number 34 moved at the snap. Penalty is refused. 4th down.
No, actually, Charlie, if you move at the snap, it's not illegal. It's moving before the snap. That's not really a good idea.
So Jeff Gossett will be kicking, and that number that we saw a moment ago, 24, now goes to 25.
And the ever-increasing number of key Raider penalties. The most penalized team in the league just keeps on keeping on at what they do worst.
Wayne Corbett is back deep. Aaron Glenn is also back. And it's going to be down at the 1-yard line. 39 yards on the punt. The Jets will start in the shadow of their own goalpost with no score when we come back.
Infinity, #1 car line in customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power and Associates. By True Value, the official hardware store of the NFL. By Allstate, for home, auto, life, and business insurance, being in good hands is the only place to be. And by First Brands Corporation, makers of STP Complete Fuel System Cleaner.
One of the most famous skylines in the world that you were seeing behind the billboards, and the Jets now will start from their own 2-yard line. First opportunity on offense, and the quarterback is Neil O'Donnell. The Jets, as you know, are 0-5. The completions that he has, the most completions in the NFL this year. And here's Adrian Morell, as expected. The Jets to count completely on that running attack if they can do it. Oakland wants to shut him down and force Neil O'Donnell to beat him. Here's a look at the Jet offensive line.
Well, Neil O'Donnell's a local guy. He's seen a lot of that skyline, but that skyline right there in front of you is the skyline he's the most worried about. That line's playing well. They got to keep it up.
The key, Adrian Morell, the running back.
It really is. And Kyle Brady at tight end. He's got to stop being a third offensive tackle and start getting away from people and catching passes.
Second down and 8. O'Donnell to throw from the end zone, has good protection, throws into coverage, pass is caught, and it's Wayne Corbett at 5'10", 185 pounds, the forgotten wide receiver, but now with the injuries, and he has the great hands.
Well, you know, if it looks hard and it's a circus catch and the Jets absolutely have to have it, the guy that seemed they had given up on in the offseason with all their free agent signings is the guy this year that's going to make the catch, leading this team with 25 catches, and they cannot afford to lose Corbett or a wide receiver at that fact.
Corbett comes limping out of the ball game. And now the Jets with 4 wide receivers. This is something that the Raider secondary is worried about. Dumps it off. Everybody was covered deep. He goes to Richie Anderson, and he fights his way. Let's see if he gets the mark close to the first down.
Well, he's going to have it, Charlie, and honestly, not a very good job here by Larry Brown. Number 24, signed as a free agent by the Raiders, spent a lot of money on the Super Bowl MVP. Be aggressive, come up, make the tackle. He made a comment this week about, gee, I can't see how they can play me because I don't really know the plays. Well, he might not know the plays, he might not know the defenses, but last time I checked, a guy that experienced does know how to tackle.
Jets with a first down at their own 12-yard line. Here's a sweep to the near side with Morell around the corner and out of bounds 20-yard line. He'll pick up 8 yards on the play. Lorenzo Lynch chases him out. And let's look at that defense of the Oakland Raiders, the front 4.
This is strong, the strength of the team. Chester McLaughlin is the leader of this defense, despite all those big names.
Linebackers in secondary.
I think extremely strong. The problems for him has been at cornerback. Today, Trapp and Lewis are going to start. Brown's going to have to step up and play.
And there's Rich Kotite, the head coach of the Jets. Ball at the 20-yard line. No score in the ball game. 8:50 time remaining first quarter. Opening drive for the Jets. To give us to the first back through. And that's Richie Anderson. Anderson has only carried, that only been his 19th carry of the season. And the reception that he had a moment ago only his 13th. Basically, he's there as a lead blocker and a very good one. Picks up 5 yards to the 25 and a first down.
Charlie, the Jets are doing what we said they have to do, and that's run the ball, finish blocks, and Adrian Morell is the key. Get in there, churn those legs, do your blocking. There it was Anderson, but the running backs are following the block.
Jets at their own 25, started the 2 sweep to the left side. Here's Morell. Morell pops loose around the corner, close to 10 yards on the play. Near the first down marker, Rob Fredrickson, the linebacker, and Dan Land out of the secondary moves up, and they move up to stop him, and we'll have an official's timeout for a measurement.
Well, this start shows you something that I think is prevalent in the NFL right now. Not only do teams enjoy beating the Raiders, they have no respect for them. They are not treating the Raiders like some kind of special team. They're coming right out here against a defense full of alleged stars and first-round draft picks, and they're just taking it right to them and smashing them in the face.
First down. Back-to-back first downs for the Jets. Adrian Morell now 3 carries, has rushed for 20 yards. And already this will be the 7th play of the drive. An absolutely sun-drenched afternoon here at the Meadowlands. The temperature in the mid-60s. Perfect day for football. Cool and crisp.
When this front 4 is being effective, Charlie, is when they're penetrating. If they're not penetrating, they're getting blocked.
Corbett back in the ball game. He's the motion man, and we've got flags. Usually when it comes up that quickly, it's a false start.
False start prior to the snap. Number 87. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
That's on Webster Slaughter.
Charlie, after 36 years, it's got to be very easy to pick those out. I mean, and I know you're not clairvoyant, but after this long, it can't be that hard.
Anything that happens that quickly, it narrows them down. I've seen a lot of false starts in my life, on and off the field. Okay, we have 7:20 and counting time remaining in the first quarter, scoreless. The Raiders took the opening kickoff. They had to punt. The Jets started at the 2. Here's Morell. Just kind of jumping around for a couple of yards to the 32-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and 13.
Yeah, I like Adrian Morell. Another guy on this Jets team, kind of like Corbett, that at the beginning of the season, you didn't hear much about him. All you heard about was the millions on the tackles and the millions spent on the quarterback and the millions spent on Keyshawn Johnson. This guy is quietly, I said it before, I'll say it again, I think he's got a legitimate shot at 1,000 yards if that skyline up front takes care of their business.
3 wide receivers, O'Donnell to throw. Breaks away, gets pressure, throws it away. Corbett was the closest possible receiver. Webster Slaughter is down, grabbing the back of his right leg, right behind the knee.
And the importance of a Webster Slaughter injury, we saw Corbett go off earlier. You know, Jeff Graham injured himself. He injured his knee last week, and that obviously looks there like that hamstring caught up on him in the middle of that route. And, you know, Graham's playing with a dinged up knee. Keyshawn Johnson's out with the arthroscopic surgery on the cartilage. They can't lose a wide receiver. Otherwise, it's two tight ends slam the ball. Very predictable.
Back to the Meadowlands. Webster Slaughter assisted from the field. There he is on the sideline. So now it is Jeff Graham, Wayne Corbett, and Henry Bailey. Here is Keyshawn Johnson. He is out originally for 4 to 6 weeks. That's not what he told Lynn Berman, though.
Well, he said a week and a half to 2 weeks. They miss him on a third down like that as the ball's batted down. But, Charlie, honestly, Keyshawn in 2 weeks against Buffalo on this carpet after a cartilage scope, I don't like the chances. I think he was right when he sort of smiled and said, well, maybe in Arizona in 3 weeks. Very key to come back on grass.
So, Dr. Cross, you suggest that he comes back in Arizona, right?
It's all a matter of pain level. The level of pain's a lot higher on this concrete than it is on grass.
Yes, you're right. Brian Hansen will be kicking, and this is career punt number 901. And it's over the head of Tim Brown, and Brown finally picks it up at the 2-yard line. He let it get behind him. A terrible mistake for the veteran. He knows better than that. 68 yards on that punt. He gets a 4-yard return. Back in a moment, no score.
There's Tim Brown. He's hurt this team a few times with fumbles from the receiver position. Should have caught that one. Can't let that thing roll around like that.
The remaining back is Derek Finner. A double tight end set, pinned at the 5-yard line. A pickup of 3 yards to the 8. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Mike Chilinsky of the Jets with the tackle.
Well, there's a situation, Charlie. You're never surprised to see a single back and 2 tight ends when you're backed up like this. This is a very quick, aggressive Jets defense. You can't afford anybody getting through a gap.
Andrew Glover, the tight end, is the fullback as the lead blocker for Finner, who comes behind him across the 10 to the 11-yard line. He picks up 3. It's still going to be 3rd down and about 4 to go as we check out the ticker. Miami with the early lead over Seattle. No score, Carolina, Minnesota. No scores, Chicago, Green Bay, halfway through the first. New England, a quick early lead on Baltimore.
There's Jim Vecchiarelli. Charlie, we're talking about that quick, aggressive defense. One thing teams will do against his defense, everybody does it, and the Raiders are good mimics. Everybody runs reverses.
3rd down and 3. Hostetler to throw. A little flare to the right side to Andrew Glover, and he's got the 1st down. Nice play. 18 yards on the play and the 1st down.
It's a nice job, Jeff Hostetler, reading this defense. He knows he's getting the blitz. Watch the way he leaves the center there, comes straight back and shot puts one. It goes his passing yardage, but he kind of pushes that one out, and he could afford to. Glover was that wide open, nobody even near him.
29-yard line, 1st down Oakland. No score in the ball game. This is their 2nd offensive drive. 4.5 minutes. Now left to go in the 1st period. Aska back in the ball game. Oh, that was Finner. 31-yard line.
You know, something else they're doing for the Raiders offensively, they've got Rick Cunningham, a backup offensive lineman, in there at tight end. You know, they're alternating using Glover in the backfield there as that fullback, but they've got a big offensive tackle right now playing tight end, and that's got to tell Vecchiarelli's defense, we're going smash now if they're trying to run the ball and control it.
Andrew Glover as the fullback, lead blocker for Derek Finner. Play action fake, Hostetler's fake. In and out of the hands of Ricky Dudley, the #1 rookie, their draft choice out of Ohio State. Got to make that catch.
He really does. And here's a guy that struggled a little bit with this offense, getting a grip on it. And with the fire on this pass, it's kind of easy to understand how he has a hard time keeping a handle on this. It seems to get to him before he really expects it. But the reason it got there so early, Mr. Washington is putting a little smack on Mr. Hostetler.
Aska is in the ball game. Finner, the remaining back. Aska is on the left wing, did not know the play. He went to Hostetler. That's what the conversation is about. We've got a timeout. They did not want to take it, but we've got it. No score. Back in a moment. An aerial view of the Meadowlands. The MetLife blimp does not require a home base and is constantly on the road, logging over 60,000 miles a year. At a very slow pace.
How do they get food? You don't come down. How do you get food?
Space shuttle. Hey. Let me make a correction. That was Derek Finner, who did not know the play. Caused the timeout. Hostetler going deep. Tim Brown along the sideline, out of bounds.
Oh. You know, one thing.
And I said it was Derek Finner, who did not know the play that caused the timeout.
And one thing I think the Raiders players like about Jeff Hostetler since he's been back, he doesn't hesitate to do this. I won't give you subtitles or translations. I think it's easy to figure out that he's not real happy with Mr. Fenner right there.
Wayne Corbett is the return man. He said he has to depend on his swervability on his punt return. Fair catch. Has it at the 34-yard line. Second punt of Jeff Gossett. The first one 38 yards, this one 35.
I'll tell you, if he's got swervability, he could drive a cab in this city.
No, he learned swervability from the cab drivers in this city.
Swervability. Of course, when you're Corbett size, you learn to swerve quick.
Isn't that a great word? There he is. Played his collegiate ball at Hofstra, a free agent, walked across the street to the Jets training camp. He has really been a surprise. Last year in an outstanding year with 66 receptions. That is the 5th most rookie receptions in NFL history.
Yeah, last year he was surprised, Charlie. This year, he's out to prove that it was kind of an insult not to think he was a key weapon.
Going on first down and missing Kyle Brady, the tight end.
Look at O'Donnell. You see what he's doing right there? He's telling him that is like an option route for the tight end. When a defender's on one side, you look at the defender, you go the other way, and he's saying, hey, look, you got to turn the other way. There's Brady in the left side. O'Donnell sees him, and he's got to go to where he is. Your receiver, exactly, Neil, your receiver's got to be between the defender and the ball on that route.
Kyle Brady, only one reception coming into the ball game. Here's Adrian Morell on a sweep to the left side, back to the running game. And a pick of about 9 yards before Biekert makes the tackle.
Well, here's an example of swervability. Swervability gets the ball here, and then swervability does this. So obviously, Corbett's been able to get Mr. Morell a little bit of that swervability in his running style. Good running, good blocking. Now the swervability.
Ooh, yeah. Whoa.
It's contagious.
It is. So is that word, isn't it? 2:53 time remaining, first quarter, no score. Jets second opportunity offense. And Morell is stacked up literally at the line of scrimmage by Chester McLaughlin.
Now that is what that Raider defense does well, and that guy there, Chester McLaughlin, does great, and that's penetrate. That defense penetrates. No brainer here, Charlie.
Oh, you got to kick it.
You don't take a chance in this situation. The Jets have to play field position with the Raiders. They got to hang. Remember, you hang around, and if you're Richie Kotite, you wait for the Raiders to get the penalties and the Raiders to give you the ball and a shot to beat them.
Ryan Hansen will be kicking. The deep back is Darrell Hobbs, replacing Tim Brown. The Jets have not had a punt block in 12 years. It is caught downfield by New York. The ball will be down at that spot. Oakland will be moving on offense when we come back. As one of only only 4 NFL players, but that includes New York Jets defensive tackle Jeff Faulkner.
And I tell you, if you're the Jets, you thank your lucky stars you got Aaron Glenn out there. Because with the speed of Joe Aska, he is gone if Glenn can't match him right there. You saw that acceleration. That's what he brings. That's why he's in here and starting. Don't be fooled. Napoleon Kaufman got hurt a little bit last week with that ankle. But Aska's playing because they see the potential of this young guy, and he's just one of many Raider young players they said have got to step up.
Hostetler to throw on first down. Drills this one. Pass is complete. He goes to Tim Brown. 23-yard line.
You know, and Hostetler right now has got that little bounce going. When you see a quarterback that's getting more and more confident and more of a roll going, you see those feet, and he kind of bounces in the pocket. And when Jeff Hostetler starts bouncing, the locals here used to see him in that red, white, and blue of the Giants. Remember exactly that, hitting the tight end, hitting the safe stuff over the middle, getting a rhythm.
For Oakland, 3 plays in this drive, 3 consecutive first downs. And here is Aska straight through, helmet to helmet at the 18-yard line. He runs into Rick Hamilton. Whoa, what a collision.
Hey, but key here, Charlie, they're starting this guy out of the eye. He's getting a 7-yard head start to accelerate, and he's going after the line of scrimmage.
And that is the end of the first quarter. We are scoreless, Oakland and the Jets.
Quarter, the word on Webster Slaughter, the Jets wide receiver. He went off to the locker room moments ago, ice taped to his right hamstring. He will not return for this half. At least he'll be evaluated at halftime. Charlie, Randy?
All right, thank you, Lynn, for the update. Play action fake by Hostetler goes to the end zone. Tim Brown knocked away. Brown trying to push off of the defender, and he got away with that, but he was well played by Aaron Glenn. Interesting, Tim Brown yesterday said Glenn is playing Pro Bowl caliber football, and he showed him there.
Well, you know, and when Glenn sees this tape, he is going to see some Pro Bowl caliber defense out of Tim Brown, because he's got this ball the whole way. The only guy with a real shot at this is Glenn. Tim Brown coming over the top does some good imitation of a defensive back.
3rd down 5, Raiders 1 of 3, 3rd down conversion. Great shot right up the middle with Derek Bennett. And he has the first down at the 10-yard line. A gain of 8 yards on the play. Lonnie Young makes the tackle.
Now watch the colors on this play. When I say the colors, you should see green and barely white. You see a lot of green, but it's open field right there in front of Fenner. Excellent job by the inside of Wisniewski, Robbins, and Gogan on that one. Jim Vecchiarelli's got to get something going, maybe with stunts, because his guys are getting overwhelmed inside.
Ricky Dudley and Rick Cunningham are the tight ends. Andrew Glover is the fullback, the lead blocker. And here is Derek Fenner. Fenner at 6'3", 245.
Hey, Gary Jones, you get these running backs into the defensive backfield this quick, like the Raiders are right now inside. Gary Jones is going to be about 2 inches shorter at the end of this game. Bad sign when the DB starts leading you in the tackle charts.
2nd down, goal to go. Ball just outside the 8-yard line. Again, the backup tight end, Andrew Glover, is the lead blocker. Number 87 in the backfield. Play action fake to Fenner. Throwing off, and it is incomplete. Tim Brown, the intended receiver, couldn't pull it in. It'll be 3rd down, goal to go. Meanwhile, the field goal kicker for the Oakland Raiders, Cole Ford, is loosening up. He has hit 3 of 6. That his long one is 38 yards this year.
Interesting, that last play, Charlie. Again, with Glover at fullback, Rick Cunningham was lined up at left tight end, and they actually had the big guy run a post.
And here's what they've done in the red zone 16 times. 10 touchdowns, 2 field goals. 3rd and goal, Flair. Tim Brown, incomplete.
It's going to be motion on Dudley, lined up at right tight end. He pulled off just before the snap. Another one of those critical errors.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 82 with slight movement prior to the snap. That penalty is refused. 4th down.
The Raiders, the most penalized team. Actually, they are tied with Jacksonville with 48 penalties coming into the ballgame.
Watch the tight end right here. He's going to move. See that?
Yep.
That is not 82. That's 83, Dudley, at the tight end position. 82 was Jet in the slot, and there's Mr. Dudley getting a little information from Joe Bugle, the line coach for the Raiders.
16-yard line, 26-yard attempt. And it is good. And the Raiders are on the scoreboard. They are now out in front of the New York Jets by a score of 3-0. Back for the kickoff in a moment.
By the full line of new 1997 cars from Mitsubishi, built for living. By Sears. Come see the many sides of Sears. By Gateway 2000, personalized computers shipped factory direct. And by the new Coors Light wide mouth can. Tap the Rockies with a smoother pour.
The Raiders with the field goal, but for the New York Jets.
Oh, that's a positive. You're hanging. Remember, you hang. Wait till the Raiders give you some chances. You got to hang. Touchdowns can get you, you can loosen those hands from hanging. You can hang on field goals.
Ronald Moore and Henry Bailey are the deep backs on the return. Bounced and picked up by Ronald Moore. And a nice return out to the 30-yard line. Program note, Tuesday, NBC Sports presents Game 1 of the American League Championship Series, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. on the Pacific. The New York Yankees will be hosting the Baltimore Orioles. That's Game 1, Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. That is here on NBC.
Hey, you know, as a
playoffs have been good,
as a baseball fan that grew up just living and dying with the Dodgers and being born in Brooklyn, I grew up hating the Yankees. But, I mean, there's just something right with the world when the Yankees are back in the playoffs.
Yes, yes. However, my San Diego Padres are not, but they had a great year. And that was a great ball game last night with St. Louis. Here's Morell. Has the hole, 40. He could go all the way. They may cut him down. With the angle is Darren Carrington, who saves a touchdown. Whoa, 43 yards for Adrian Morell. And remember, on Wednesday, he strained his hamstring. They were worried about him, too, this week.
Nothing wrong there. Watch Brady. Watch here. Good job at entire right side. Watch how quick this opens up. Brady blocks down, gets a nice job there of pinning. I mean, that's perfect execution. Charlie, there's nothing wrong with that hamstring. Not now.
Not now. 1st and 10, 28-yard line. And here's Morell again, stops. That's it. He's going to lose a yard. Greg Gumbel is sick this afternoon. Dan Hicks has replaced him, and here's Dan with an update for us.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Seattle and rainy Miami to take on the Dolphins. John Freeze in for Rick Meyer. And watch Joey Galloway fight off Calvin Jackson. Goes all the way for the touchdown, 65 yards. And Seattle, on the last play in the first quarter, takes a 7-3 lead. Charlie?
All right, thank you, Dan. Here, the Oakland Raiders are out in front of the Jets by a field goal, 3-0. O'Donnell has pressure, slips away from a would-be sack. He has an opening, he's going to run to the sideline, and he makes it. He outruns Chester McLaughlin. But Chester was closing on him, wasn't he?
Well, Russell Maryland has the shot at him in the backfield, but fear can be an incredible motivator.
Yes.
Here, look at the, you can imagine, oh, God.
I remember Chester is 6'4", 325 pounds.
And that is how Neil got that quick.
You bet.
You get motivated, and fear will motivate you. And, you know, Richie can't be unhappy with what's going on right now offensively. Granted, he got a clean whiff and miss. Got his guy into the backfield on a stunt. But his quarterback made up for it.
A tight formation, but 4 wide receivers are in this set from the shotgun. 3rd down and 7. Here's pressure. In reality, throwing it away, he was simply out of time. Henry Bailey was the closest possible receiver, but he was dumping it off. And Nick Lowry is going to come in with a long field goal attempt.
Hey, you know, this is no Baryshnikov wearing number 14. You're going to pressure him. You're going to make him move, especially to his left. He's doing what he doesn't want to do, and anytime a defense can get a smack on Neil O'Donnell, it just adds another smack to a long, long list of hits.
43-yard field goal attempt. Nick Lowry appearing in his 250th NFL game and is only 2 away from tying Jan Stenerud NFL record, all-time record of field goals. 3 away from breaking it, and he hits from 43 yards out and ties up the ball game at 3. Nick Lowry, the ageless wonder. He just keeps going on and on and on. He is 40 years old. He's been congratulated by Nolan Ryan. Jets to win, they've got to hang around. Well, they are. They're hanging around now to a tie, 3-3.
The hang continues, and it's because of the running game. That offensive line's doing a good job. Neil O'Donnell, when he's not getting pummeled, is doing a good job. The key is going to be for that defensive line for the Jets. Get some penetration. You're outmanned size-wise. You got to get in the backfield.
All right, but now what about the Oakland Raiders?
Well, very easily. Jeff Hostetler is a team that's got to beat the guy that's got to beat the Jets. He's got to do it with the passing game you saw earlier, hitting Dudley, hitting Brown, going that short, long to medium to short. It's antiquated, but if you can execute it, it can be trouble.
Now, it's antiquated because normally the quarterback reads short to medium and then to long.
Yeah.
And it's all, and with the reverse of it, when your short man is open, you're late getting to him.
Well, Lyndon Johnson thought it was state of the art, but that was sometime in the mid-'60s, the late 60s when he was the president.
Here's that scoring drive leading to Nick Lowry's 43-yard field goal. And now Don Silvestri will kick it away for the Oakland Raiders with Carl Kidd and Kenny Shedd as the deep backs on the return. Kenny Shedd. Now the reverse to Carl Kidd, and we've got a flag.
Time to be smart if you're a Raider. Don't do anything stupid. It's a team that's known for those kind of things. Don't give an official an excuse to throw another 15 yards on top of it.
22 yards on the return to that point.
And every time that happens on the sideline like that, I think of two things. Either a gunner, one of the quick guys getting hung up on being held up on the sideline, or somebody that goes out of bounds, who's blocked out of bounds illegally.
We mentioned that the Raiders tied with Jacksonville with the most penalties in the NFL against Oakland. That is their second penalty of the ball game.
There's an illegal block in the back on number 29 during the return.
That's
Personal
Albert Lewis.
foul for a late hit on number 89.
Trey Junkin, he's the snapper normally.
Accepted will be the illegal block in the back. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Well, Charlie, we got to give credit for the dumb mistake to Albert Lewis, 29, right there in the middle of the screen with a block in the back. But easily, Trey Junkin, number 89, right there. He gets the stupid mistake.
Oh, particularly going to the face.
And we've been told right now, we got to keep track of this. Has Trey Junkin been ejected from
That's
the game?
the report that we have, yes. Now, he is the long snapper on punt for the Oakland Raiders.
That is critical for the Raiders, and that makes a what's stupider than stupid?
The sequel, Stupid 2.
Stupid 2. I mean, stupid is as stupid does.
That's right.
And if it does, it continues. I mean, Mike White, I wouldn't want to hear a thing from this guy right now. You were wrong. You were stupid. Get out of my face. You're going to cost your team because nobody else is really as adequate as a guy like Junkin is at snapping it.
So Oakland now will move on offense. 15-yard line, first down. And he's got to head, if he's been ejected, he's got to go into the locker room. Or if he doesn't, they will nail him with another penalty. Napoleon Kaufman makes his first appearance in the ball game as a running back. through is Kaufman. Now for an update, here is Dan Hicks across the river in New York City.
Okay, Charlie, continues to rain in Miami, and it continues to rain Seahawk touchdowns. John Freeze, once again for the second time, his second straight pass, 2 touchdown passes to Joey Galloway. That one good for 51 yards and a 14-3 Seattle lead. Charlie?
Thank you, Dan. Are you surprised about that?
Not when Joey Galloway's doing it. You know, this Raiders team is a team known for fast guys.
Here's Napoleon Kaufman, pops through. A little stiff arm, a 360 down the sideline. Kaufman, very excited. He's got a bit of an ankle injury. The reason that he didn't draw the starting assignment, has 17 yards. He has been averaging, are you ready for this? Averaging 7.8 yards a carry. That is second highest in the NFL, highest in the AFC.
And like Galloway in Seattle, fast guys that aren't just fast guys.
Yeah.
Anybody can sign a fast guy. Here are fast guys that are incredibly talented, extremely athletic, and are real impact players, and that's what Kaufman brings with that rushing average is instant impact, like Galloway today in Miami.
And a first down out at the 43-yard line. Coming back to the short man underneath the coverage, this is Tim Brown, and we want to emphasize again, and Tim told us about this yesterday. He said, nobody has beat us, we are beating ourselves.
Well, exactly, and one of the beat yourselves is doing something stupid. Trey Junkin did something stupid. You've got to leave the bench in an adequate amount of time, which is not like in your own good time, when you feel like it. You got to get off the bench, off the sideline, into the locker room.
Second down in the yards. Here's Kaufman, has the first down. He'll go to the Jet 45-yard line, picks up 3. Stopped by Victor Green. And Napoleon gives a lift to this offense of Oakland.
He really does. I mean, you can only imagine getting a running back, a backfield of Kaufman and Aska.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, Aska's 240. You can run kind of like the Denver Broncos do with 2 kind of halfback types back there, and at 240, Aska could be a good lead blocker.
Napoleon Kaufman, 3 carries, 31 yards. Hostetler's completed 6 of 11. Play action fake. Nice fake. Flag is down, goes deep, overthrows everybody. James Jett, the intended receiver. And Trey Junkin now has decided that he is going to go to the locker room, and he is being escorted.
Yeah, he's leaving the field, and if Jeff Hostetler doesn't get better protection, he's going to be right behind him, and he ain't happy about it. I got to tell you what, Lincoln Kennedy tried to help him up just now.
Holding. 63 offense.
I thought he was going to hit him.
Repeat first down.
I thought Hostetler was going to punch Lincoln Kennedy because that's Kennedy's guy, Washington, smacking Jeff Hostetler under the chin.
Barrett Robbins, the center, who is only the 4th starting center in Oakland history. Jim Otto, Dave Dalby, Don Mosbar, has the penalty back to the 45-yard line.
You don't see a quarterback refuse to let your offensive lineman help you up very often, and Hostetler just did it.
First down and 20. Here's Derek Fitter.
You know, one thing we're seeing from both defenses really is when you get a chance to hit a quarterback, like the Jets defense is hitting Hostetler and the Raiders defense is hitting O'Donnell, you see a whole defense swell up. They love that. That is what they feed on. Kind of like a shark likes blood. Defensive players love to hit a quarterback. They play with more confidence when they get a shot to do that. And right now, this Jets defense, after that smack on Hostetler, is a little swollen up.
Ball game tied 3-3, just over 8 minutes to go in the first half. Tim Brown shows motion. And we've got flags on the play. Jets are offside. Pass back to Tim Brown, who's a short man coming across. He has the first down at the 33-yard line if the play stands up. 19 yards, he needed 17.
Well, I'm a little surprised we didn't have a little step in there and get one of those unimpeded to the quarterback, stop the play kind of whistles, because Washington was offside clearly on that play.
Defense, number 97 in the neutral zone at the snap. Penalty is refused. First down.
Well, I tell you what you got to do. You got to stop that play. You can't let him do that. Watch Washington and watch Lincoln Kennedy flat out tackle him, protecting his quarterback. There's the offsides. And here's the full-on takedown, yanked by the front of the jersey. That doesn't get called, but Kennedy was just protecting Hostetler. Good idea, too, because if he was mad the last time, he would have killed him this time.
And here's the backfield that you asked for, Napoleon Kaufman, Joe Aska. And here is Kaufman. Nothing there. Shut off outside, he comes back, and then he was shut off inside. He's going to lose yardage.
Yeah, I've got a 6-year-old son, Brendan. He loves this cartoon show, you know, Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
You know, here's what you hear.
So do I.
You know, same thing Scooby-Doo likes to say. Napoleon Kaufman right here. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. Nowhere to go. Go down. Get out of the way.
38-yard line, loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Here's Kaufman, 5'10", 180 pounds, played his collegiate ball at Washington. Huskies, by the way, at Notre Dame next Saturday. It is behind and almost intercepted. A flag is down.
It's going to be a late hit on Hostetler, Charlie.
Behind Tim Brown, he reached back for it, off of his hands, almost intercepted.
Now they pointed in this direction of the Raiders there. He had to point the wrong way. Hostetler clearly got hit late.
You're right.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 55. 15
That's
yards.
Bobby Houston.
Automatic first down.
You know, quarterbacks don't ask for much. One of the things they'd like to do is be able to remember the game afterwards. And Houston, look, no real malicious intent here. He's starting to kind of stop. He doesn't plan him, and he knows he did the wrong thing as soon as he did it. He wanted to hold him up, but he couldn't hold him up. And Hostetler wasn't about to help him out by trying to stand up after that one.
The ball just outside the 23-yard line, first down. Ball game tied 3-3, 6:49, time remaining, second quarter. Good ball game. Hostetler has a man wide open, and he hits him. His tight end, Ricky Dudley, with his second touchdown of his career. He had a step on Victor Green, 23 yards.
Charlie, you did the old Raider games back in the days of the ghost to the post.
Yes.
Well, I was back in that kind of post area there for our current ghost with the Raiders, Mr. Dudley, the #1 pick. He absolutely does this and heads right to the back corner, and Hostetler just leads him perfectly. Good protection for the first time in a few passes, and that is why they drafted Mr. Dudley. That is the hope that Mike White has for this young man, that he can do it on a more consistent basis. And having a tight end that can catch can keep your quarterback off the injured reserve list.
And the extra point is up, and it is good. And Oakland breaks the tie as they lead 10-3. Hostetler's reaction. That is his 6th touchdown pass on the year. Excuse me, the Raiders up 10-3 on the Jets, as Cole Ford will be kicking off either Ronald Moore or Henry Bailey. And it's going to be Bailey on the return to the 15, Bailey to the 20, 25. Nice return out across the 35. He's going to be down. And the 36 or the 37-yard line. Dan Land makes the stop after 31 yards. The scoring drive of the Raiders, and Hostetler was 3 for 3, 51 yards of the drive.
And the big thing, really, the big weapon today is the emergence of Ricky Dudley finally being a factor in this offense. And you can see the difference between what Hostetler's done passing-wise so far, having a tight end to throw to, that guy he can rely on that can run away from defenders, and what Neil O'Donnell has so far. Not off to a great start. They have 80 yards rushing, but he doesn't have that tight end weapon.
Jets will start from the 35-yard line with 3 wide receivers. Here's Morell, and he is hit behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to fall forward to the 36-yard line, a gain of 1, second down and 9. And it was Lance Johnstone who tripped him up. A check of the ticker, Minnesota leading Carolina. They're in the second quarter in that ball game. Green Bay early lead on Chicago in the second quarter.
Seattle still hanging in against Miami, too, at 14-3, Charlie.
New England 3 over Baltimore. Detroit shutting out Atlanta. Second down and 9 here, 36-yard line. Pass is complete, but the point of the catch is going to be it for Henry Bailey as he is wrapped up immediately, and O'Donnell is down. Rob Fredrickson made the tackle.
He's seeing spots right now,
You're
Charlie.
Right. You are right.
When you get hit that hard and that sun starts to bother you, like you see him shielding his eyes right there, you can become very sensitive to light when your head gets smacked around, your body gets smacked around, and it's Albert Lewis coming off the slot.
Right there,
corner
29.
blitz. Good job at getting rid of it. But both these quarterbacks are taking a beating. Hostetler was able to recover from his beating using the short passing game, effective running, and passes to his tight end.
The ball at the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5. We've got a timeout as Frank Reich is loosening up. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
We'll take another look at what happened and watch how this happens. It is not the head, it is his right shoulder as Albert Lewis blitzes. The throwing motion, look at the shoulder pad right there, goes into the right arm of Neil O'Donnell. He was on the ground. He wasn't moving that right arm at all. You saw him holding it very gingerly walking off. One more time, out of the slot blitz with the cornerback. Just shoulder contact underneath the pad on O'Donnell's arm.
Frank Reich now the quarterback. 3rd down and 5 from the shotgun. He is on target for the 1st down. That's a tough play. Shotgun formation. You come out throwing. You hit Alex Van Dyke. 12 yards, 1st down. Lynch makes a stop for Oakland. This is what Reich had coming into the ball game. 4 for 12, 83 yards. Touchdown. That was in the Denver game.
And he already has more passing yards than O'Donnell did. O'Donnell left with that little shoulder injury at 3 of 7 for 12 yards. This is why you bring a veteran in. He should give you this immediate jump.
And a 1st down. Here's Morell. Little stutter step. Another one. He goes out of bounds as we go down to Lynn Berman with a flag on the play. Lynn?
Charlie, the initial indication I get is it's a separated shoulder and he'll go for x-rays. So certainly more bad news it looks like for the Jets. Charlie?
Don't stand too close to the Jet bench, Lynn. You might get hurt. Everybody goes down on that ball club. That's truly amazing. Out with injuries.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 43 defense. Will tack 15 yards on to the end of the run. 1st down.
And here's a look at that face mask call on Lorenzo Lynch.
Well, watch Morell at the end. He's going to straight arm Lynch. And right there, right hand comes in and tugs him down. And the reason it's a 15-yarder is that tug was meant to pull him down. That was not incidental. It was meant to be part of a tackle. That makes it malicious, and that's why it's 15 yards.
1st and 10, 31-yard line. They're working on the shoulder. There is Lynch.
And that is one high-dollar shoulder joint they're working on over at the Jet sideline.
Corbett in motion. Right, sets, throws. Pass is complete to Alex Van Dyke. Rob Fredrickson with the tackle.
You know, Van Dyke's been kind of the other rookie, but remember, this young man out of Nevada had a stellar career catching passes.
129 to lead the nation.
Not too shabby, and also not too shabby by Frank Reich. Getting good pass protection, not being pressured where it disturbs the quarterback the most. That's in his face. A guy fresh into the game, if you can keep that pocket clean, he can step up and throw it.
2nd down and 6, 27-yard line. Jets are down by 7. 3:45 left to go, 1st half. Here's Morell. And don't forget that Frank Reich was the backup quarterback at Buffalo. And he led the ball. Here's another flag and some pushing and shoving down at the 20-yard line. In between fights, here's Corbett.
Right, he made the comment to us, he doesn't care about mystique. He wasn't going to take anything off the Raiders. And it's a matter of who got caught. Who was the first one to fire the shot, but more importantly, who probably threw the second one and got caught? Because Corbett's out here doing what defensive backs hate. And that's blocking.
Against number 80 of the offense. And a personal foul for roughness against number 43 of the defense. The penalty's offset at the end of the run. 2nd down.
You saw it was retaliation. Corbett got popped right in the face by Lynch. Checked his parts real quick. and then went back to get a little bit.
Now, he also checked to see if it was official, right?
Yeah, well, that's not a very smart play by Corbett, because he could have gotten 15 yards against the Raiders defense if he just would have held his water a little bit and just said, hey, look, I'll come back and get a shot on you later, because he'll get plenty of chances to get a shot on Lynch.
Also, he's given away 25 pounds.
That's nothing new to Wayne Corbett.
He gives away 25 to everybody, doesn't he? All right, third down from the shotgun, right. Fires and a little behind, incomplete. He misses Alex Van Dyke. It is fourth down, and so Nick Lowry will come in with his second field goal attempt of the afternoon, and this one, if he makes it, will tie the NFL record held by Jan Stenerud of 373.
And, you know, despite his age, you're talking about him being 40 and 16 years in the league. This is a 45-yarder on a relatively windless day here in the Meadowlands, easily in Lowry's range. He should put this one high into the net.
He's already hit from 43 in the ballgame. This one, he pulls it to the left, and he misses from 45 yards away. And so the Oakland Raiders will take over at the spot of the kick. We mentioned this just a moment ago. Next Saturday, the tradition of Notre Dame football returns to NBC Sports. Quarterback Ron Paulus, the Fighting Irish, will host the upset-minded Huskies from Washington. That's Washington versus Notre Dame next Saturday, 2:30 Eastern Time, right here on NBC.
Yeah, I played in then the Pac-8, now the Pac-10, and you can guarantee one thing out of the Huskies. They will run the ball well, and they will hit anything that moves. That'll be a heck of a game. But, you know, look at, here's a recipient of one of the guys that got hit because he was moving, Neil O'Donnell. They're holding that right shoulder up. That's not a good sign.
Oakland leading by 7, starts from the 35. Hostetler comes back underneath the coverage. Pass is complete to Derek Finner. Finner has been very active in this offense this afternoon.
Hey, exactly, and as O'Donnell leads the field, I mean, that is their guy here in New York. And if you're the Raiders, you've got what was already a wounded team down to a wounded animal without their quarterback. If you've got the guts to come back in this season, if you've got the character to make something out of a 1-4 start and you're the Raiders here, you absolutely go for the jugular and start pounding on this team that's hurt.
Second down, about 1.5 yards to go for the first down. Hostetler to throw. Again, he comes short. He comes to Joe Haskell. He will pick up the first down. How wounded are the Jets? Well, Keyshawn Johnson is out, you know about. Hugh Douglas, the defensive end, is out. Eric Howard, the defensive tackle, is out. Marvin Jones, the linebacker, is out. And in and out this year, Marvin Washington, Bobby Houston, Jeff Graham, Jumbo Elliott, Kyle Brady. And in the preseason, they lost Tyrone Davis, Eddie Mason, Kenyon Rashad, and Lubin Faddy.
Yeah, how bad is it? The guy watching. Keyshawn Johnson had his knee scoped Thursday. He's out here standing around. Smart move by the training staff of the Jets. He'd stand around all day. He's got to get swelling down if he wants to come back in 2 weeks.
Get off your feet. Hostetler fires mid-range, intercepted. Aaron Glenn.
Well, Tim Brown made the comment, you said, Charlie, that he thought Glenn was making Pro Bowl, playing Pro Bowl corner. Little slap by Brown. Watch Glenn break on the ball, and Brown not. Biggest difference. A wide receiver has to say, that ball is mine. He's got to come back for the ball. Glenn was the one that came back for it, and Hostetler has his 9th interception on the year.
In only 3.5 ball games, because he missed the first 2. Jets will take over at their own 39-yard line, first down. And they're going to snap this ball with 2:02 time remaining. So this one play, and then the 2-minute warning. Frank Reich, the quarterback, sets up a screen, waits and waits. Then Morell pops through, has the first down. 40-yard line, 35, and then elbowed out of bounds. And it was Darren Carrington who elbowed him out. 2-minute warning. We'll be back in just a moment. Jets on the move. Coming up, the Domino's Pizza NFL and NBC halftime report. Dan Hitch, Chris Collinsworth, Mike Ditka will bring you the scores and highlights of all the action around the league. Plus, Jim Gray sits down with a 71-year-old, very young head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Marv Levy. And don't forget, Frank Reich was a backup quarterback for Marv Levy at Buffalo, and he led the Bills in the greatest comeback in NFL history over the Houston Oilers. And he looks good in this offense. He goes deep. A little pushing and shoving. Alex Van Dyke, the intended receiver.
Sorry about that, fans here in the stadium, but that defensive guy's got every bit as much right at that football as the offensive guy.
It was Albert Lewis, and he played him very well.
Yeah, but more importantly, Charlie, you're talking about a quarterback being in kind of clean and just starting. Watch Corbett. How do you like him there? Yeah, what's the deal, guy?
Look around.
The deal is keep running patterns like that, as you always do, and they're going to fight.
Jets with 4 wide receivers. The Raiders now have 7 defensive backs in the ballgame and a 4-man rush. And it is intercepted. Going into that 7 defensive back coverage. Here's Terry McDaniel on the return through the 50, the 45, the 40, heads down the sideline and then runs out of room. He's pinned against the sideline. Nice return for Terry McDaniel of 48 yards. That is his 29th career interception.
I think Corbett, we saw him open on the play before. I know he went back to the huddle and said, I'm open. Remember I said something about run that pattern hard and they're going to find you? He ran that pattern like he thought he was a decoy. Frank Reich went to throw it to him, and that's where the ball was intended. They wanted to hit Corbett. Watch Corbett, 80 in the slot, not running hard, just sort of coming off, and it's exactly where the ball goes. And only thing McDaniel did, he was just there. He and the ball were there.
1:32, time remaining first half. Oakland at the Jets' 34-yard line. Hostetler set. Buys a lot of time. Now he's out of time. And he steps out. He is out right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Clock stop, 1:25, time remaining.
And not only out of bounds does Jeff Hostetler almost get hit. You know who got hit on that play? Joe Bugle. Joe Bugle on the Raiders sideline, standing there with his little playlist and everything else all ready to go. He's going to stay a little bit further away from the action now.
Second down and 10. Back to the running attack. Joe Aska. A lot of time remaining, 28-yard line. He'll have 6. Rick Hamilton with the tackle, 3rd and 4.
Hey, Charlie, I mentioned the thing about penetration for the Jets defense being very important against this Raiders running game. And right now, Jim Vecchiarelli's defense is not getting the penetration, and they're succumbing to the size of this Raiders line, who is blocking very well for the run. The problem's been their pass protection.
They spotted at the 29, so it's 3rd and 5. Jumping the outside is Skinner. He has the corner and the first down. Out of bounds at the 17-yard line. A gain of 12 yards on the play. Aaron Glenn is the man who got it.
You know, nothing fancy about this. Watch the right side. Just consume that side. Joe Aska gets a nice lead block, but Lincoln Kennedy and Kevin Gogan, they look like the Blob. Remember the old movie? The Blob didn't hurt anybody, just kind of consumed them. Well, the right side Blob there, 66 and 72, consumed that side of the Jets defense.
Finner the fullback, Joe Aska the tailback for the Raiders. Jim Brown the motion man. Little sidearm pass. It is complete to Finner, who is out of bounds. Aaron Glenn was spinning him there. Now the play was stopped before he went out, and so the Raiders will take a timeout to stop the clock with 33 seconds. He's saying they were out of bounds. I didn't have to use a timeout.
Well, I think part of the problem, Fenner kind of played give up at the end of that play. Fenner didn't make any real, attempt to get out of bounds. There was no urgency to Fenner at the end of that pass play. That's one of the interpretations of the officials. If you're not trying to get out of bounds, just because it's late in the game, they're not just going to give it to you. They don't look at the clock and say, oh, 33 seconds, I bet he wants to get out.
Yeah, he was very casual.
Sort of leisurely spinning, and, you know, Aaron Glenn kind of felt that, and he wasn't going to help him if he didn't have to.
But I still feel that he was out of bounds. But my feelings don't count, do they?
Oh, sure they did. Sure they did.
Second down and 10 when play resumes. The ball at the 17-yard line of the Jets.
But to be honest, the feelings of these two beleaguered coaches, Richie Kotites and Mike White, their feelings are getting to be pretty important in this situation because it's getting awful tight from the employment side for both these guys.
Derek Finner is the remaining back. Fifth play of the drive. Hostetler, 11 of 17, 132 yards in the first half. And he goes and he overthrows at the goal line Ricky Dudley. Dudley had gotten behind his man but had to spin off of him, and he was kind of pedaling backwards and couldn't get to it.
A great sequence. As you see, Hostetler's fired up. Jeff Hostetler throws that ball, gets smacked, and when he gets up, he doesn't yell at Dudley. He looks right over to Mike White on the sideline. He screams at him, and what's Mike White do? Mike White screams down the field at the receiver. We got a little chain of command going. There's the on-the-field commander. He's yelling at the sideline commander, and the foot soldier gets the heat down the field.
Third down, Raiders converted half, 3 of 6. This is low, incomplete. So with 25 seconds left in the first half, Cole Ford will come out. He has hit from 26 yards in the ballgame.
We talked about hanging, Charlie. The Chicago Bears last week trailed 17-3 to these Raiders, and the Raiders found a way to lose. Richie Kotite takes off the headset. He's heading into the locker room, but he's got to remind his team of the exact same thing. Hang in and let the Raiders play their style of football. If they don't, they're a better team. If they do, you're going to get your shot.
35-yard field goal attempt from the 25. And it slides through. It is good. So Cole Ford now has hit from the 26 and the 35. Add 3 more to the Raiders total, and they are up 13-3 with 21 seconds. That's the time remaining in the first half. The MetLife blimp, co-piloted by our good friend Snoopy, dressed as the famous World War I flying ace. There he is. Hi, Snoop. Today, rather than searching the skies for the Red Baron, Snoopy is enjoying NFL football action on a gorgeous day here in the Meadowlands. He's great, isn't he?
He's got that, you know, in August for a preseason game, you look at Snoopy and you say, it doesn't work for me. Got a red hat and a green scarf, but, you know, we're getting close to Christmas.
That's right.
As much as we hate to admit it, we're going to start seeing Christmas trees and hearing the music, and they're going to start selling us.
That's right.
But Snoop's already ahead of us, a couple months ahead.
And, you know, Charles Schultz, the creator, is a genius. Absolute genius.
Yeah, and we're talking about Christmas. The key for Jeff Hostetler and these Raiders, I talked about him being ahead 17-3 last week. The key were a couple of interceptions by Hostetler and the Raiders playing Santa Claus. And that's not a happy camper. You know, don't be naughty, don't be nice, and you're going to get on Santa Claus's list. Well, somebody's not on Jeff Hostetler's list right now because he's not happy.
Or somebody is on the other list. That one. Cole Ford will kick it away to either Henry Bailey or Ronald Moore. High and very short. Fair catch is called for and taken to the 30-yard line. That's a nice play. That was Kyle Brady who made the call.
Well, you know, Kyle Brady's a receiver. I know he gets another play. These local fans here are saying, well, why don't you catch it and run with it? Show us what you got. But you make a good point. Give your offense a chance, though. You know, with 20 seconds to go, I can't see Frank Reich doing anything other than falling on the ball here and just not letting anything bad happen.
So from the 30-yard line, the Jets on offense with 20 seconds left in the first half. The Raiders leading by 10, 13-3 over the Jets. The Raiders looking for their second victory of the season. They are 1-4. The Jets looking for their first. They're 0-5. You're right.
Well, that's a smart thing to do, but honestly, the Jets got lucky with that interception thrown by Reich. Only having a field goal scored on you for Richie Kotite and his team is another big plus. We talked about hanging. They are hanging down 13-3 at the half.
We'll take the official countdown. Be sure to stay tuned for Dan Hicks, the Domino's Pizza halftime report, and we will go to that after these messages and a word from your local station.